Hey guys, it is Christine. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a homeschool video for you. So if you're a homeschooling mama, you might find this interesting. If you're not, you might still find it interesting because you can use this book even if your child is not being homeschooled. So I am reviewing How to Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. We are up to lesson 66, I think, in the book. So I've got a fairly accurate idea of how good it is now and if it's worthwhile. So I'm going to share my thoughts with you, our experience. Before I get into it, please subscribe if you're new here and you think you would like to see more of my content. I would love to have you along. I am mama to 3. Like I said, I homeschool my eldest and I will be homeschooling my other kids when they are old enough to start. So I also share motherhood tips and parenting tips and that kind of stuff. So feel free to follow along if you'd like to. Now I'm going to get into the video. Okay, I started this book with my son when he was 4.5 years old, sometime sort of mid last year or the end of last year sort of time, probably about, I don't know, August or September. And I had heard about it from my mother who used it for my sisters when they were little. I actually remember them doing reading lessons with it. They're 7 and 8 years younger than me, so I have like really good memories of that time. And I had seen a few other homeschooling mamas recommend it. So what is it? It is a book that will help you to teach your child to read in what they call 100 easy lessons. It's a phonics-based reading program. So your child will learn to read using phonics, which I'm a big fan of, and that was one of the draw cards for me. So the way this works is it builds upon itself. So you'll start with some basic sounds, and then the sounds they'll start putting into words, and they'll start putting words together, and then they'll start putting it into stories, and it just builds on itself very slowly, and it'll go from your child reading like a 3-word story to a full page of words. And it's really incredible in that sense. So like I said, I started it when he was 4.5, and it was like pulling teeth when we first started. He didn't enjoy it. And I think a large part of that was because he didn't have very solid letter recognition and sound recognition and things like that. And so we took a break and we did reading eggs and we did the Good and the Beautiful level pre-K, and he did super well with that. I've got a review of the Good and the Beautiful curriculum here. I will go ahead and put a card up for you, or that side, whatever side it is. And doing that was perfect because then we went back to this book and I started with just half a lesson at a time, and he took to it a lot better, and we've been using it ever since. And the way I've done it is to do it 4 nights out of the week. I do it just before he goes to bed. It's like a special time for the 2 of us to just sit and read together. And then he stopped recently doing reading eggs, but he continued that for a while, and it worked really well. And he's finished the level K pre-K book. He's done the level K primer from the Good and the Beautiful, and we've just started on the kindergarten language arts course from them. So this has definitely helped him to read more fluently, and I'm grateful that we did it. So now I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons of it. I do like the way that the lessons are laid out, and I will show you what that looks like. They usually do sounds first, and then word reading, and then the story, and then there's reading comprehension, picture recognition and comprehension, and then they also do sounds writing, I think it is. We never did that part of it, but it is something you could use if you wanted to. And I would say that what I really like about this is that it is truly open and go. You don't need anything else with it. You could take it on vacation with you if you wanted to. You just open it up and you do the lesson. It's very, very simple. I like that it is based in phonics, and you can teach your child from that perspective. My negatives for it is that it is very dry and boring, in my opinion anyway. And I've certainly had to try spice things up and make them fun and exciting for my son, because he would get very bored very quickly. It's black and white. There's no great color. The pictures are okay. They're adequate, but they're not exactly amazing. So I like this for sure, but I definitely want to supplement it as well. And that's what we have done, and that's what I would recommend doing. I would also just bear in mind that yes, it is kind of boring, but if you are willing to be creative, you can make it more exciting and more fun for your child. I would recommend it, and I do plan on using it with my other 2 girls once they reach the age where they start to learn to read. I do think it gives a really good foundation, but I think it requires other resources to add to it to make it a bit more comprehensive. But if you're someone who has no idea how to teach your child to read, and you're like homeschooling, or perhaps you just want to have a go at teaching your child to read before they start school, this is a great book. I got it from Book Depository, or maybe it wasn't Book Depository, it might have been Trade Me, but I'll leave a link to it in the description below, where you can find it on Amazon. It's not super expensive, and it is easy enough to store. I mean, it's quite a big book, which you can see. But yeah, I do recommend it. I'm glad we've done it. I don't know how much longer we'll continue with the lessons. I kind of feel like the kindergarten Good and the Beautiful curriculum is kind of taking over, and he's almost a little advanced for that curriculum currently, but I'm sure that he will reach the point where he's learning more again. So right now it's just about practice and repetition and things like that. So I don't know how much longer we'll carry on with this, but I'm really thankful for the book and just the confidence it gave me to teach my child to read. And I'm probably going to do another video on how I taught my child to read and all the resources I used and just the process I went through. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know by leaving a comment. And I would like to know, if you are a homeschooling mama watching this, please leave a comment down below. Or if you're thinking about homeschooling, I'm always curious to know. And YouTube is a great place to meet other homeschool mamas. So all that to say, thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.